Week beginning the 11th of May, Book Above Pay Grade, Lesson 1. These are the questions, so feel free to pause the video whenever you need to write your answers down. Hello Year 2, Lawrence Hill class. I'm missing you all. This is a week beginning the 11th of May, Lesson 1, Book Above Pay Grade, and I'm now going to read page 7. Mummy's as stupid as you are, Grandma said. Cabbage doesn't taste of anything without a few boiled caterpillars in it. Slugs too. Not slugs, George cried out. I couldn't eat slugs. Whenever I see a live slug on a piece of lettuce, Grandma said, I gobble it up quick before it crawls away. Delicious. She squeezed her lips together tight so that her mouth became a tiny wrinkled hole. Delicious, she said again. Worms and slugs and beetly bugs, you don't know what's good for you. You're joking, Grandma, said George. I never joke, she said. Beetles are perhaps the best of all. They go crunch. Grandma, that's beastly. This is page 8. The old hag grinned, showing those pale brown teeth. Sometimes, if you're lucky, she said, you get a beetle inside the stem of a stick of celery. That's what I like. Grandma, how could you? You find all sorts of nice things in sticks of raw celery, the old woman went on. Sometimes it's earwigs. I don't want to hear about it, cried George. A big fat earwig is very tasty, Grandma said, licking her lips. But you've got to be very quick, my dear. When you put one of those in your mouth, it has a pair of sharp nippers on its back, and if it grabs your tongue with those, it never lets go. So you've got to bite the earwig first, chop chop, before it bites you. George started edging towards the door. He wanted to get as far away as possible from this filthy old woman. You're trying to get away from me, aren't you, George? She pointed her finger straight at George's face. You're trying to get away from Grandma. Little George stood by the door, staring at the old hag in the chair. She stared back at him. Could it be, George wondered, that she was a witch? He'd always thought witches were only in fairy tales, but now he was not so sure. And now I'm reading page 9. Come closer to me, little boy, she said, beckoning to him with a horny finger. Come closer to me and I will tell you secrets. George didn't move. Grandma didn't move either. I know a great many secrets, she said, and suddenly she smiled. It was a thin, icy smile, the kind a snake might make just before it bites you. Come over here to Grandma and she'll whisper secrets to you, George. George took a step backwards, edging closer to the door. You mustn't be frightened of your Grandma, she said, smiling that icy smile. George took another step backwards. Now it's your turn to have a go at answering those questions. If you need to go back through the video and pause it on the right page to help you find the answer, you can. Then I'm going to show you the answers and you can check